allowed law, and now things are changing. We really have the feeling that it feels like things going backwards. And if you see now like a day like today where all those people are together, if you look at them and then realize that this is like homegrown, you know? This is really like what it's all about. People like, as I said already in the speech for Yam, like it doesn't matter what color your skin is, which nationality you have, what religion you have, you can all be together, you know?
Exactly.
You can share it together. I think that when I started to work here with the HomeGrown, I didn't know much about it, but what I saw directly was like how social people are, you know, when normally if it's nice weather you go to a bar and a terrace, people sit already two at a table and there are enough free chairs and it's like, no, it's my table. If you come to a coffee shop, then it's like, oh yeah, you can sit here, that's okay. It's so nice. And we see like we have people, our public is from 18 till 80, from full suit till hippie.
Tell us why we're here today. What you are celebrating today here?
Celebrating that 25 years of HomeGrown is ending now, and we thought that it's something to celebrate, you know, to celebrate the HomeGrown as it was, because you can end, you know, you can say like, oh, you have like this funeral vibe that you see like for people like REP, rest in peace, HomeGrown fantasy, things like that. But what I said, like in 25 years, you touched so many people that as long as people remember HomeGrown fantasy, it will never die. This is what it should be all about, that you should be having a place which is like where it's okay who and what you are. Doesn't matter. Like you're just okay. Because there are so many demands in society, there are so many things that we have to live up to, so many rules, so much limitation.
Yes.
But just to have a spot where you just come in and it's okay. Yeah. And that's great. That is HomeGrown about. So we said like, you know, we give one celebration. It's a farewell party for the HomeGrown fantasy, but it's in a way that we should celebrate for what it was, where it stands for.
End of an era.
End of an era. Yeah, that was literally the word of the three English friends of us who especially came over. They said, like, it's the end of an era and we want to be part of it and we want to be there. Yeah.
Tell us just the technical part, why you are closing, or what are the new registration.
Okay, there is a new rule came up, like it was not really a new rule, it was already like hanging over our heads that it was very much possible that it could happen. But there is, they said that every coffee shop who is in a range of 250 meters of a school has to close. So first it was that we could only open at 6 o'clock in the evening till late night, and in weekends normal because the children are not in the school then. And when the children are in the school, you can only be open at 6 o'clock. This is to, as they say...
Same with beer and tobacco?
No.
Fortunately not.
It's you can still smoke on the terrace, you still can drink beer on the terrace. It's allowed for them to see that, but it's not allowed for them to see. They want to prevent young people from seeing people using cannabis. I think that you should educate young people about what cannabis does, because that's giving them the choice to choose, because it's not only available in coffee shops.
Yes.
It's available also on the streets. There are street dealers, and now even more now coffee shops are going to close. And I think if you look at young people who are in an age which they want to experiment, if you put up a fictive wall and you put everything behind a wall and you say like, oh, you can't have this because this is not good for you, then you're at age and you want that, which is what is behind that wall, you want that. And I think it's about that you learn young people to, if you want to use something or want to do something, that you do it wisely. Like with my children, I try to teach them like to think, and how do you think for yourself and how do you judge things? Because I'm not always there to take them by the hand and say like, oh, this is not okay for you. They're on their own in the big world. And what then? And I think that it's so weird that people can go, like now it's 18 years, but under 18 you're not allowed to come in the coffee shop. So that's the same for alcohol and it's the same for using marijuana here. So, but you know, under age they see people using alcohol and they see like, but there is use and there is abuse. That's with everything. And I think as long as it is in the international human rights law that you can choose what you want to use for yourself, then I think that it's a human right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a freedom of choice, a freedom of spirit to think what you want to do. You have to take responsibility for what you do. That's something that you have to learn. That's something that you have to be taught, but not like choosing for you, because that's your right. And that's what this is all about today. Like for us, it's like there are many coffee shops. There's a coffee shop a little bit further. There's also a coffee shop who's going to be closed. But we think,
ciao, we gaan. Wij horen van elkaar, hè?
Oké,
Ja, nou, doe je best.
Doei, doei. No, we think that, you know, we were always a coffee shop that was like people can come in. Like for us it was very important that our staff take people in care who come in. So that means that you tell them about what's on the menu, you tell them about what does, that you give them proper information. You help them to choose something which is suitable, because sometimes people come to Amsterdam, they didn't smoke in 20 years, they come in and say like, hey, you want to smoke, or never smoked before, now I'm going to smoke marijuana.
Exactly.
And then, you know, you have to guide them, like, okay, you know, so you don't know it, and you should take it easy. So you tell them and you educate them and inform them. So at the end, they have a nice and pleasant experience, and not like turning green or feel nasty or just like all about selling. So we were never the commercial coffee shop. I know that a lot of people always told us like, oh, you're not commercial enough, but it was not about commercial with us. It was that we realized how big a privilege we have to be a coffee shop owner, that you can come to this place and smoke in freedom. Don't have to look behind you, or is there somebody coming up, not going to a dodgy place to buy something that you don't know what it is. Or sometimes what I hear in other countries, that more and more people buy weed and it's treated with something, and that's also something that you smoke. But I think it would be really nice if they regulate it, because as a coffee shop owner you're in a weird position. You're allowed to have 500 grams on your premises. That's your weed, your hash, your isolate, your joints, your space cake, whatever. Together 500 grams. But you're not allowed to bring it in. You're not allowed to grow it. You're not allowed to buy it. You're not allowed to transport it. You're not allowed to storage it. But you're allowed to sell it. So nobody can understand that. You know? So I make sometimes a joke, like we have more than 200 sacred places in Amsterdam, because every morning there's an appearance of weed. Yeah. You know? And you know, you do your best. But I think if you regulate it, that means also that you can divide what is okay and what is not okay. And what is also okay is that if you regulate it, you could come in and you could do a test, like what is on the menu, is it good, how is your quality?
Educational experience.
Yeah, but also give a quality mark to something. That's what we would love, because we were proud about our coffee shop.
Yeah,
We were proud about the quality that we serve. We're proud about the people who work for us. That's what you see today, that people come back after so many years working for us. You know, and the thing that they all share is that, okay, this is a party, and we share it in happiness, and on one hand it makes them sad because it's closing, and the other hand it makes them so proud because they were part of it.
You think that the seed shop and the seed company will keep going?
The seed store is also closing, because for us it's like we live partly here but partly also somewhere else, and now the coffee shop is not open anymore. You can't rent also a place here, so then we have to travel like every day, like 4 hours.
As
so
a seed company?
No, for the seed store, but the seed company will still be there. HomeGrown Fantaseeds will still be there.
Everywhere, universal.
Yeah, because we want to provide people with the best genetics.
Yes.
because that is the base, and how good it would be that everybody could grow just for their own purposes.
Yeah.
I think that would be really
Idealistic.
okay. Yeah, that is idealistic, but as long as that not is possible, then at least that you can go somewhere and get something decent. That you don't have to make an appointment like, yeah, I meet you there, and then you don't know what happens.
And the tax go to the state and not to the criminals. And
yeah, because they say that there are a lot of criminal activities and things going on. But if you see like people who grow, it's not like the big group. It's not like talk to the lawyers and you hear that they're not the huge big growers. And sometimes people who grow like to have a little extra income, and those are people like when they get caught, they're really like in big trouble. And of course you have a few who grow commercially, and that's a small group who grows commercially, like big wise. But most of the people are just like small growers. And to be honest, like with all the people that I talked to in the past years, no, it's just basically people who want to have something nice, have a nice product, and grow it. And you know what is? If I see young people coming in the store and they want to buy seeds, and they tell me really sad stories about things what happened to them when I hear young people from Germany that they see that under young people more and more people have abuse of medication. Why? Because if you're caught with pills or things which you don't have the prescription, you get a warning. But if you're caught with weed, you're in bigger trouble. So there are more and more people choosing for that. I don't think that that's a good development. And also look at the home medicinal part of the plant.
Here the states give medical cannabis to...
There's medical cannabis. For medical patients, they need the whole range of CBDs. So they have to be sure that they get the right products. You only can get the right product if you know that you have like somebody who grows it really honestly, and that you can really be sure that you have the right product, because otherwise it doesn't work. And there are a lot of people who really benefit of the use of a medicinal way of marijuana.
Post-trauma is one of this.
People who have a chemo treatment, who lose appetite, people who treat themselves with wheat oil. See how many people there really benefit of that. That is such a beautiful product. But now what do? We put it on the #1 hard drug list, and then there will be the pharmacy who's going to produce it, so we can even pay more for it, for something that you basically can make yourself.
Yeah.
But that's all about, and I think, if you look around, things which are forbidden or like really tied in, it's always about power and money. It's always about power and money, and that's a shame. It's a shame. It's a plant, it belongs to everybody. It's not like a certain person, I certify it and it's mine, I make big money out of it. Something that I can produce for 50 cents and I sell it to you for 50 euros.